I had the fortune of working with two companies that competed with one another at different times. And the one that we're going to call Big Project was the project that SEO worked on. And another one, Small Project, is one that we were kind of invited in to kind of do a little bit of checkup on. So we did our thing. Regular link building, guest posts, blog comments, directories, top 10 lists, all that stuff. So we did that. And the company got number 4 for their top term on Google at their highest point. This other project that I was invited on, it was a tech-only thing, so they needed some help with some technical parts of SEO, yet they had been number 1 for 2 years purely on buying links. Purely on buying links. I mean, their homepage had no content on it. They were just buying links to brute force their way into getting into the search engines. Well, let me tell you what's happened. So in my project that I worked on, I haven't touched that site in 2.5 years. The client's still in the top 10. Why? Sometimes you just need a little bit of a shot in the arm. They were a company, they were reputable, they needed some help, but then they were moved along. I haven't touched the site in forever, so it's actually 18 months, sorry. The Small Project, they held the number 1 spot for 2 years, but then they recently dropped from number 1 to number 50. Because the pattern by which they were buying links was extremely discernible. It was easy to pick out, and as a result, they haven't come back. So when you think about building a long-term business, which is one of the things that Gary was talking about today, if you're trying to game or cheat the system, you should expect that that's only going to last for a while, and then you're going to have to do this over and over and over again. When people tell me, like, oh, SEO changes all the time, I'm like, no, it doesn't. It really doesn't. Search engines have always looked for the most relevant content. Like, when have they ever done anything but look for the most relevant content? It's when you're trying to game the system and figure out what they changed in their algorithm yesterday and how you can be smarter than those PhDs is when you get in trouble. So, my personal part on link buying is that you've got to do it in moderation. You should evaluate and you should be able to assess the risk. I wonder if that big project that's no longer ranking well for their name anymore or for anything was actually worth it for those 2 years of being number 1, whereas our client, who we haven't touched in forever, is floating around there around number 4, 5, 6, depending on the day and where you're searching from.